My essay, A Call for Shared Humanity, a reflection on liberation and the tragedy of selective humanity. I rejoice completely in the news of the remaining 20 hostages long held by Hamas finally being released this week. After 2 years of unimaginable anguish, my heart is genuinely with them and their families. Their liberation is a moment for pure, unadulterated triumph for the human spirit. Yet, as I listen to President Trump speak of the humanity and liberation of these hostages during his address in Israel, a profound dissonance struck me. How can one champion humanity so vehemently on one stage while simultaneously and systematically refusing to acknowledge my own, the humanity of a transgender woman of color? The phrase that rings loudest is selective humanity. The antagonistic policies and rhetoric emerging from the Trump administration targeting Black and Brown communities and LGBTQ+ people speaks volumes. This selective embrace is a chilling mechanism. It elevates the suffering of one group while attempting to silence, erase, and delegitimize the suffering of others. To uphold the history of the Jewish Holocaust while actively seeking to erase the history of African American slavery suggests a devastating moral hierarchy, a belief that some lives are inherently more valuable, some pain more worthy of remembrance. We must never forget the horror of October 7, 2023, the devastating loss of approximately 1,200 lives, and the brutality inflicted upon the 251 people taken hostage, 84 of them who were killed. But our compassion cannot end there. How then do we reconcile this with the humanity of the estimated 67,000 Palestinian people killed, including the tragic, incomprehensible loss of nearly 20,000 innocent children? We know that not all those lives belong to Hamas. How do we as global citizens measure the value of one human being against another? As an individual who believes unequivocally that all human beings are entitled to their complete humanity and liberation, I struggle profoundly to comprehend such pompous, selective morality. The suffering in Gaza is joined by the horrors unfolding largely unseen in places like the Congo and Somalia. Real tragedy that barely registers on the mainstream news radar. While I celebrate the long-awaited freedom of the Israeli hostages, I feel a deep moral disdain for the selective humanity that governs our world. Until we recognize the full, equal, and inherent dignity of every person, we remain profoundly incomplete. Rajee Narinesingh.